Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Gonna try to do one cast today. It's been quite a day today. We have not gotten the rain that they forecasted, but we've gotten a lot of wind and very mild temperatures. As you can see, I'm wearing my sweatshirt. It's not because of the water temp. It's because of the air temp. It's chilly. So I boated up here to the cable. They're running 4 units of water. Started about 1 o'clock. And fishing has not been very good this afternoon. I've been out a little bit. And the wind's still pretty tough, but I'm going to try throwing a jig. Throwing an 1/8 ounce sculpin and ginger with a brown head. 4-pound line. Okay. I'm not sure why fishing's so tough this afternoon. Oh boy, that wind is... wind's just going to be tough. It's tough for everybody today. That's the main reason why people are having a hard time keeping the boat straight. That was the bottom. Keeping the boat straight, keeping your bait on the bottom is just tough. Cloud cover's nice. The rain, we were supposed to have 4 or 5 inches of rain the last couple of days, and it's gone north of us. I have heard the Osceola, Missouri area got 7 inches of rain last night, and last time I looked this morning they were still getting rain. That's a lot of rain. I guess they've had some flash flooding there, and all that rain's going to go in Lake of the Ozarks, so that's not very good for them, especially this time of year. I'm just letting the jig hang out the back for a second. Kind of trying something. Well, nothing on the first cast. It's going to try to come up here late in the day and catch the water going down, but Blake said that they hadn't been dropping the lake till about 9. Table Rock is down to, it's almost down, well, it's 919 and a half, but it's dropping almost 4/10 a day now, so it's going to be down to that 915 power pool mark probably about this time next week. And that should mean, if it doesn't happen before then, it should mean that we're going to start to see some lower water, lower generation, and maybe even some periods when the water is off. We'll see. The water was running about 1.5 units this morning till about 1 o'clock, and fishing was really pretty good for most people. Drifting night crawlers was really good. The pink worm under a float was real good between Fall Creek and Short Creek. Steve Dickey came in with some really nice rainbows. 2 people in his party. Tracy Frenzel, I heard his client, they were drifting a bead and just below Fall Creek, and they hooked a fish, and he saw it several times. It was about a 20-pound brown, and they fought it a little less than 10 minutes, I guess, and Tracy's using 2-pound line, and the fish broke his line. broke the client's line. Oh, what was that? Okay. If that kind of looked like a gar, but that might have been a trout. And he came up and he took something off the surface. I have, bear with me, I have a dry. I've been trying. We're going to motor up past that point where I saw him and drift back down and throw that dry. It's a riffle fly. I've been throwing it a little bit. It's a very large fly. It floats on the surface. I think it looks like a dragonfly. And Kelly Himes told me they were hitting dragonflies this week. I've thrown it a fair amount the last couple of days and have gotten 2 blow-ups on it. Below Lookout along the bluff, but not enough action really to work it a lot. But that fish came up and ate something, and it was big. So I'm gonna work on it just a little bit. And get my boat in position. Okay. Dry the fly really good. There's a lot of wave action, so it's going to pull that fly down pretty quick. So I want it. I'm not going to be able to get the take on camera. It's going to be off camera, but we'll see. I want to get it just about the same place I saw the fish. Off the bank. He wasn't on the bank at all. He was probably 10 feet off the bank. Okay, I'm right down where it was, where it came up. Well, when you see a big fish come up and take something off the surface like that, I was kind of fortunate to have this in the boat. Usually don't carry a big dry fly on my fly rod. This is pretty rough water up here with 4 units. And that fly is getting drugged down really quick. I really need to put some floating on it. It'd be awesome if I just hooked any fish. I gotta go back to a jig here in a second. Okay. This is fun. I could do this all evening, but it's like fishing for that one bite. I fished this whole bank twice now and I haven't gotten a bite off of it, so. The dry fly fishing is addictive, especially when you're throwing a big dry like this. Just the idea of a big fish coming up and eating it off the surface. Okay. It's a good drift right there. Yeah, Kelly said that they are coming up and eating dragonflies, jumping out of the water after them this last week. That sounded, oh, got a little issue with my leader twirling up on me. That means your leader is too small. Didn't give me a problem the other day, but it is today. All right, I'm gonna go back to that jig. No, I'm not done. Jackson thinks I'm done. I tried some things down at closer to my dock this afternoon and didn't do any good. I tried floating a beaded scud above the dock on that bank. I cleaned some fish for a friend on the dock. He caught 4 nice rainbows off the dock yesterday morning. Maybe it was 2 mornings ago. When I cleaned them, 2 of the 4, their bellies were absolutely full of sow bugs. You'll have to Google that. Sow bugs, that's not a freshwater shrimp, it's not a scud. Although there was a bite. Although they did have some scuds in there, but not very many. But the sow bugs were just a whole wad of sow bugs in both bellies. And he caught those fish off my dock, which really is interesting to me. It's not that I've never seen that, but it's pretty rare that fish down there are eating or finding that many sow bugs. But this time of year we have a lot of pondweed that grows, there's a fish, that grows in our lake. And we got a fair amount of it around our dock. It grows along the banks. With this much water running, it gets kicked loose and clogs, and strings of it flow down the lake and into our dock. And anyhow, bugs, there are a lot of bugs that live in that pondweed. And I actually pulled up a big bunch of it today and shook it on the dock, and I saw these little tiny worms in there. I saw black water bugs in the pondweed. Found a few scuds, didn't find any. It's a nice fish. I didn't find any sow bugs. That is a really pretty rainbow. Beautiful fish. Didn't find any sow bugs, but I found a couple of scuds in this one, just this one string. So I know that bugs live in that, so I thought, well, I'm gonna try drifting a beaded scud along that pondweed, and I didn't get anything. Steve Dickey said he did this real good this morning. After they caught their fish that they kept, he cleaned them and then he took his clients back out and did really good floating or using, there's another one, using a 100th ounce sculpin jig under a float up here. Did really good, caught some nice fish. Nothing over 17, but he said boy, he got some big spots. Not quite as big, but he's got some pronounced spots on him. Still a pretty fish. I'm really trying to jig deep. Ooh, well, fish are the bottom. And I'm holding the boat a little bit in the current and letting the jig swing down below the boat. Just like that. This one's a small one. Another pretty fish though. I just think the fish are biting right now. They hadn't been biting most of the afternoon. I looked at the forecast for next week. We got a little bit of rain, but the temperatures are in the 80s all week, which is going to be awesome. Almost down to the island. That wind's really laid down. That's helped a lot. Oh, that's a fish. I thought I let it drop a little bit too much in that eddy over there and had the bottom. About the same size as the second one I caught. All right. I had a couple from, hopefully you can hear me. Had a couple from Houston come and rented a bass boat from me of afternoons ago. It was that real rainy evening. Getting pretty close to the bank here. And we had a lot of boats come in late, or at 6, so they came in at 6 o'clock, and gosh, I gave him some jigs before he went out. He fishes in the salt down on the Gulf, and when he came in, he said they had just figured out how to catch fish and they had to come back in at 6. So it's another nice fish. So I said, well, why don't you just go on back out for a while? I'm going to be cleaning boats for the next hour and a half. So they took me up on it. They went back out. I'm not going to cast in this shallow water. It's I don't catch fish here. So they went back out, and I gave them some more jigs. They had bought some jigs when they went out, but they had lost all but one of them. So I gave them some black jigs, and they went down lake from the resort. And when they came back about an hour and a half later, the gal they said on her second cast, using that black 1/8 ounce jig, she hooked a fish, and she thought she was snagged and it was a fish. Same story like that. And it was a 22-inch brown. Landed it, took pictures, released it. Now they haven't sent me pictures of it yet, but I gave her a catch and release pin, and hopefully we'll get that picture. But that was pretty cool that they went back out and caught that brown. They caught several other rainbows, but got that one big brown. It was a real pretty orange one too, real thick. So we've had some good success stories, but most of the people who've been going out, especially in the afternoon, are coming back with nothing. Starting to get pretty dark on me, so I'll go for a little bit longer. This is a good spot. This rebar hole. Always holds fish. That stump, oh, I see it now. I was going to say that stump's around here someplace pretty close. Just above it. This would be a great night to be night fishing. No fog. But we got a big cleaning day tomorrow, so I'm not going to be out late. Ah, I missed one. I think I'm gonna make this the last cast. Water temp, I took it yesterday, it's 55 and a half. Boy, hit that hard. It's a little one though. And the DO was 6.5, which is not bad at all. But the temp is a little high for this time of year, still July, and the DO is a little low for this time of year. And that's just because they ran water all summer long out of Table Rock. Caught 3 about the same size, and they're kind of footballs. They're big, heavy fish, about 15 inches. This one has no spots. Silver as can be. No spots. Could be a Neosho fish, who knows. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to keep fishing, so if I catch any big fish, I'll put them on the end. But thanks for watching, and we'll do it again tomorrow.